Yo. We can get rid of that today. We don't need that. Let's see. Just getting everything booted up. I'm gonna do some achievement hunting in Resident Evil 2 today. That's the game plan, and that's it. That's all we've got. That's the only thing we've got on the docket today. I've been wanting to get all the achievements in this game for a long time, but I just haven't made the time for it because I always thought that it's, you know, it's like this specific achievement is actually kind of easy to get, so, or at least I think it's really easy. But it does require doing a full run of the game. So we will do that. We will do that. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna turn off my mod stuff so I'm not breaking any laws or rules over here. Yeah, lose DLSS quality, and I think that's really all we need, right? I think I have the camera FOV maybe tweaked a little. What is it by default? It's pretty low. Yeah, we won't mess with that. We won't mess with that. Granny Smith versus Red Delicious. Oh, it's all good. We're not playing StarCraft today, so I think we're good. Thanks, Green Switch. I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that. Hey, there's a reason why I'm ready to talk about that stuff, and it's because I legitimately, I'm not at the point where there's anywhere up or down to go until Stormgate is out. I'm in a state of complete stasis, right? For me, it's just about my mental health and getting to the release of that game more than anything. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Because again, yeah, there's no yardage I'm gonna be able to gain on that other field anymore. I appreciate that. So this is an achievement. I only have 2 achievements in the entire game. This is what I would do if I didn't care how many people were gonna watch. I have 2 achievements in this game that I don't have. Obviously, I've played this game a crazy amount. I've played it 87 hours. So there's only 2 that I don't have, and they are Frugalist, which is complete the game without using a recovery item. So that is a reasonably difficult challenge. Beating the game without healing at all is not an easy thing to do. The game doesn't really heal you at any point, so the only way to really get this one is to play on easy mode, which heals you throughout the game so you don't have to heal. So I'm going to blitz through the game, and I'm going to be referencing for the second achievement that I'm missing. It's called Got 'em, which is destroy all the hidden raccoon statues in the game. So actually, no, it's in the Ghost Survivor mode. So there are hidden statues in the bonus modes. Oh, I got all the statues in the main game. I didn't even realize. I didn't even read it correctly. I didn't even read the only thing I was talking about correctly. So those are 2. I do have all of the other ones. That's nice. I do have all the other ones. So there were like a bunch of bonus modes where they added challenges, more or less. So there are hidden raccoon statues in those modes, and apparently I do not have all of them. So now I need to... It's very good that I realized this before we got started, okay? Because I need Ghost Survivors Mr. Raccoon. So, because I am going to use a guide for this. I want to get it. I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. So, I'm going to be able to say that I completely 100% of this game on stream. That is something I want to be able to say. How are you guys doing? I know I posted that. I know I posted my video on the YouTube. I know it's some heavy stuff, right? It's not fun. It's not fun to talk about. I wish I could just play StarCraft forever and never worry about anything. If that were possible, I would. I promise you guys. So I'm just getting this up. You know, it's like you pull up a video of a page and then they've just got videos of the game that are unrelated. Freaking look at me looking at a Eurogamer guide. Oh, it's disgusting. Where's a GameFAQs one where the whole entire thing is made out of ASCII art? That's what I need. That's what I need. So, okay. At least I have that pulled up so we can get there. We can get there. So I'll do that after. I'll do that after. So the first thing we'll do is we'll start a new game. We're going to start a new game on the easiest difficulty with Leon. And our goal is simply to get through the entirety of the game without having to use a healing item. That's what the point of this is. Is it a difficult challenge? No. Is this the hardest thing you could do in the game? Oh, sorry, wrong scene, wrong scene. Is this the hardest thing that I could do in the game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I was telling my wife that one of my weaknesses is that I don't really ever want to show stuff on stream, like, ever at all. Oh, I think I did bug myself out there a little bit. What if I just shift that off? Yeah. I absolutely borked something. There we go. Yeah, I got to keep the temporal anti-aliasing on. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. And my camera's not on this scene. I was using this to record something the other day. I did not post it anywhere. I was just yeah. So but the game plan for this is pretty simple. We just have to get through the whole entire game. I'm going to skip cutscenes and stuff. We just have to get through the whole entire game. Just have to literally do the whole entire freaking game.
I'll be back for you.
And not heal at any point. So on the easiest difficulty, you occasionally heal at like set intervals, basically.
Freeze!
So
I'll shoot.
You more or less just have to not die. My mods are going ham on this. So like, even though this guy will get me, the lower difficulty should help. I might still have my ray tracing mod on. I gotta make sure that's not running here. I thought I turned it off.
What the?
We're almost there. Boom, boom. Fantastic.
Get down.
Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Gotta make sure I did not turn. I was gonna say, I don't think I actually had any of that stuff on. I thought I had it all off. I'm not trying to bug it out on me.
Due to the citywide outbreak, you were advised.
This is out of control.
Okay, that's better. But yeah, it's pretty simple. The goal here is we just get through the whole entire thing. We just get through the whole entire thing. I'm gonna grab probably some of the DLC unlockable weapons to help mow through at a reasonable pace. But otherwise it's kind of like a mini glorified speed run.
There it is.
It's probably the best way to put it. Yo, Agitated Orange, how you doing, man? Yo, Lucassi, every day we get closer to the new Resident Evil game. I know, right? The hype is like there. The hype is there, man. I feel like I've got some setting on there's something I'm doing here. Do I just have like 500 instances of Google Chrome open? Do I have another game running? Sometimes when this happens, it's because I have a whole nother game running and I just forget. That happens. Oh, my settings did get reset. I'm at the wrong resolution. Oh my god, that's why everything looks funky. Okay. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, I think everything's fine. Yeah. Okay, that should be great. That should be great. The TAA is important for this. All right. That should help.
Hello?
No, this is acting like my ray tracing mod is still on. And then I turn it off and it's still kind of bugging out on me, huh? It still looks a little funky, doesn't it? Okay, let's see. Let's see. That might clean it up enough here. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know how I did that. I got this thing funking out in all sorts of ways. Okay. You got your poker going too? Nice, nice. No, I'm borking this out, man. I'm getting this stress. Maybe the default ray tracing settings on this are just a lot worse than I thought too. That could be it. That could be it. I'm gonna just take my little machine gun and my knife. It's gonna make life easier. And the only thing we don't do is heal. That's it, right? We just basically don't heal and we should be completely okay. Should be completely okay. Tomorrow's Dead by Daylight anniversary event. Oh, nice, nice. Dead by Daylight's doing like 2 versus 8, aren't they? That's like a pretty big change for them. Katie and I have not really been that excited about it, about Dead by Daylight. We haven't really for a while.
Open this goddamn door!
But that actually kind of sounds fun. Actually kind of sounds fun. Light them up. We got guys coming through the windows. Look, man, I'm just saying not healing is a difficult thing to ask of someone. That's all. Okay? These guys are all pretty low level ones typically. That guy usually is deliberately held back. Obviously you should never have the resources to take those enemies out at this point, so we usually just panic to kind of run over here. The random perk modifier, since everyone was running random stuff. I didn't even know they added anything like that. That's cool though. Yeah, we're probably not gonna need the bot today, huh? I'm just gonna turn that off. Just gonna turn that off. Oh, somebody, oh, you said sub to the YouTube? Thanks, bro. Oh, okay, there you go. Wow, it popped up on stream before in chat. That's dope. Thanks for the sub, Smoke. Oh, I can't use this knife. I have to use Marvin's knife to cut that open specifically. I forgot. The constraints of the game's reality. I'm forced to bend. I'm supposed to bend my willpower. No, Katie and I were getting really excited at the idea of us both being able to hunt people down together. You know what they say, married couples who slay together stay together.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
Nope, you don't need that, Nate. You're not picking up any of those. You're not touching a single one of those the whole game. What's up, Nate? Thanks for doing your Resident Evil stuff. You know I'm a big horror fan. I just want to support the best I could. Thanks, Smoke. That's really nice of you, man. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going out on a limb with all of this stuff. So I'm gonna do all the things. I'm gonna do all the things and not worry about it anymore. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. No. You stay there. Good. Good. But there's a lot, you know, it's like a comforting thing as well, knowing that I just have that. Making that decision and not waffling on it is a very important part of not losing my mind. Oh, there he is. Tommy Lee Jones. So like I said, the reason why I've avoided this, even though I've gotten like every achievement in these games while streaming them, the reason why I've specifically avoided this one is because of how easy it is. So it's just gonna be chill. It's gonna be a chill little hangout session while Nathan just basically mows everything down and speed runs through this game. I'm doing the only achievement that I don't have. I actually thought that I was missing two, but one of them is from the DLC, which I did not realize at first. So I actually have just one achievement. I literally only have like the easiest achievement in the game left. That's it. Which is beat the game without healing, which is you just play the game on easy mode and then you just go through it, you know. It's not the hardest thing. And on any of the other difficulties, that's kind of like extremely impossible for a lot of different reasons. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to power through this. This is exactly the kind of thing that I would normally say is just unbelievably boring, but at the same time, maybe this facilitates an easier conversation at some point. I don't know. I actually want to do this, so that's really it. That's the only excuse I have. I asked myself what dumb thing I want to do, and this was it. I want to get all the achievements in this freaking game. I want to get all the achievements in this game. The last one, literally the last one that I don't have from the main game is that. So it's like, it's just kind of funny to think about. Which one is this one? This one's no cap, right? Yeah. I think there's just shotgun shells in it, so obviously we don't need that, but we just gotta move, Nate. Just move. Keep your tuchus. Me looking at his map after Dead by Daylight cooked my brain. Yeah, the layout is so different. And then the swinging chandelier sound effect that they use is also kind of tilting. Nice. Because it sounds a lot like the swinging guys in Resident Evil 4 that you get the items from, which is pretty tight. Yeah, we don't have to worry about liquors yet. Got all our stuff. And don't need gunpowder. You like Dead by Daylight, but it's such a tough game to stream. You know, I like Dead by Daylight. I've streamed it a bunch of times. My wife, that used to be my wife's main game that she streamed. It's a tough game though.
Leon, it's Marvin. I need you back here ASAP.
Are you okay, Marvin?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
Copy
I'm
that.
almost
I'll be
back.
right there.
I'm almost back. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of negative feelings about Dead by Daylight. I think some of the really heavy teleporting metas and stuff, like there are just some things that are really strong that killers have that aren't fun to play against, I guess.
Jesus.
But the 2v8, that might, honestly, that could go somewhere. That 2v8 could go somewhere. Oh damn. Those guys, they were close, huh? Roommates even. The heads are bullet sponges. Are you guys, are you good? You good? Are you dead? Are you dead for real? Okay. Thank you. What's this one? I have the note. I don't have my cheat sheet out. I should see if I still have my cheat sheet for this on my desktop or not. Let me just take a very professional second here. That asymmetric style genre. Asymmetrical competitive games of any kind are really, really cool in my opinion. Like, it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing. No, I think I keep it. Yeah, I keep it on my desktop. It's on my desktop on my PC. But I gotta move it to my stream PC. There we go. So I can open it there. I do have my Resident. Of course I have my cheat sheet. I'd never delete this. Never. I've had this PNG on my desktop. That PNG's been on my desktop for 5 years, bro. Well, yeah, 5 years. Somebody made it the first week. I know, I'm a Giga Chad. Woman, bow, snake. That is not it, Nate. We're at the unicorn statue. It's fish, scorpion, vase. There we go. Such a hard game to develop. Yeah, I think it's like, it's always really interesting to see the way that people discuss that stuff, because like the easiest perspective I would have would be like StarCraft, where even though everybody, like here's the best example I think I could give of my take on this. Like in StarCraft, almost everybody universally agrees that Ling Bane Muta versus Marine Mine Medevac or whatever, or Marine Tank, almost everybody in StarCraft universally agrees that that's like the most entertaining thing to see happen in the game, more or less, right? But even in spite of that, even in spite of the fact that there's only like, that there are even a few things that everybody in that space agrees on, absolutely nobody, there's absolutely no coordinated effort between like the Zergs who like Biomine and the Terrans that like Ling Bane Muta. There's like no teamwork by these separate groups to get what they want. They both want the same thing, but they refuse to work with each other, right? And it's like, that I think is such a key aspect of where a lot of that difficulty comes from, I would say, anyway. Like, Terran players would tell you that if they didn't have to deal with like lurkers or vipers as much, Marine Tank is something they would want to do more, or they would try to do more. And if you talk to Zerg players, they would tell you that they don't want to play against anything except for Marine Tank or Marine Mine, right? But if you ask them, if you ask both of these groups to try and have a conversation about a fair way to make that happen, it's like not possible, you know? And I think that that's really the hard part, is that you have like this kind of brain rot in the community of people that are just diametrically opposed no matter what. So much so to the point that they're incapable of having conversations with each other, right? They're incapable of having a dialogue. They're incapable of having a discourse. And they don't want to have a dialogue. They don't want to have a discourse. Which again, it's really a shame, because they view each other as the enemy, but they both want the same thing. So it's just, you know, it's kind of silly. It's silly and it's unfortunate. I thought that as a guy that, especially in StarCraft, you know, like in the last year, right? Like there was all that talk about Protoss. I legitimately believe that if I just called out enough that Protoss, like the whole issue and all of that stuff with all that Protoss stuff, that the conversation would at least move a little bit, because I was never seen as like a Protoss guy, you know? But even in spite of that, like people would just tune it out. If you try to come in as like an outside object, if you try to even just try and take an objective stance, people will just ignore you because it doesn't play into any narrative that they're interested in. It's tough. It's tough. You'll never be able to get the survivors to listen to each other the way that you want them to, right? You'll never get the survivors and the killers to listen to each other the way that you want, which really sucks. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if there was a way to like try to prompt this sort of discussion, but it's just tough. It's tough. No, I don't need that. Did I see the Doom Dark Ages trailer? Yeah. That was on the Xbox showcase, right? It looks dope. As soon as I watched that trailer, the first thing I did was DM Maynard, and I let him know that I can't wait to see him. No damage, run it on Nightmare or whatever difficulty. That was the first thing. That was the first thing I said to him. Yeah, I don't think it has to do with RTS though. I think that's another problem, right? RTS also really tries. RTS tries almost too hard to like make itself be like we're not like the other girls, which I think is a part of it. But this issue is everywhere. Like it's at the heart of why discourse has collapsed, like in every measurable way, really. So there's no easy answer to it. But you could say the same for so many different things people argue about. It really just 99% of the time boils down to we both want the same thing, but because we're on different teams, it's not possible for us to have a conversation about it. Oh, shit. But yeah, people's whatever it is, fear, you know, people make up all different, they call it all sorts of different things, but as long as you can convince two people that know nothing about each other to hate each other, right? Like as long as that's a way people want to feel and live, there's never going to be an easy solution to that. On more fun discussion, RE2 Remake, best horror game ever made. Thoughts? Dude, it's up there. It's really good. It's really good. I'm like, it's hard for me because I can't really talk about how scary these games are. Because like, you know, I'm kind of a freak for these games. So there are certain, like, I wouldn't say this is the scariest Resident Evil game, but I think if you've never played a Resident Evil game and you're like playing this on your TV with the lights off for the first time, like, that's a hell of a ride, man. That's a trip. That's a trip right there. That's what I would say. Okay, so now I can go to the STARS office, right? I just gotta do the book. I gotta do the book upstairs. Where was that book to pick up anyway? It was in the library. Yeah, I just gotta go back up there one more time. Yeah, let's block that too. All right. Yeah. I did take the long way, technically. RE2 Remake was just a dream game for you? Yeah, no, seriously. Like, people talk about all the different ways that games get made, and obviously there's a lot of things that change over the years, but like Resident Evil 2, I think that what the general gaming audience doesn't really understand is that there was like that was one of the first games that had a social media campaign around getting it made. I don't know how aware of that fact like the average gamer is, but there were so many posts on the Capcom Facebook page, and there were so many people that were like constantly just being like, hey, you know, is this something that we're gonna get to see? And there was like a whole petition that went up that people got like thousands of signatures on, and the announcement that they were remaking this game happened on their Facebook page. That's where they announced it. It was a bunch of dudes. It was literally just a bunch of dudes in white t-shirts with Capcom logos in front of us, a whiteboard, and they wrote the words, "We'll do it." Like, I'm not kidding. That's how this game got made. And it is so cool that it was through people just begging for it directly to them for years, and they eventually were just like, "Okay, yeah, maybe this could be good. Maybe this could be good." And then it ended up, obviously being such a good remake that whether you agree with this statement or not, there are a lot of people out there who believe now that one of the reasons why there are so many remakes in gaming these days is specifically because of this game. They think this game was so good that that's why so many different companies are remaking their titles now. But yeah, no, this was a dream come true, man. No, I agree with you fully. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games. There are things I don't like about this remake, and there are things I really don't like about this remake, but generally I love it. I've played this so many times. I'm at like, this run will probably push me to 90 hours. It's cool. It's cool. I got the detonator. I just gotta go to the stars room now. I need to get the handle though. Why am I blinking out on that handle? Oh yeah, it's downstairs, Nate. It's the very first thing you're supposed to do when you got the bolt cutters, you buffoon. And you know exactly where to go. Your inventory is kind of full now, but we'll be okay. Shut them down. It's okay, Claire. You can come back now. I took care of the zombies. We can go get that. Them chicken nuggets we talked about. Oh, wow. Oh, they're still going through these windows, huh? There we go. Problem solved. Demon Souls remake for PS5. Yeah. I love the remake era. You know, we're in a difficult time of reality where like all the decision makers are people that have never made anything, so they like the quality of stuff, right? The bar kind of drops a lot because of that. So if the only thing they're gonna do is take their creative decisions out of the process and just polish old stuff, I actually think that's a good move until at least until we get a different type of culture from gaming executives anyway. But until these guys actually want to make new quality stuff and like actually empower people that are making games, it's kind of dystopian to say, but I'd rather them just make better versions of old stuff, so I don't have to have whatever they believe or think about the games be shoved in my face. So I thought this was awesome. I think Resident Evil 3 Remake was probably like the low point, but that one was also outsourced, so that's the only one that wasn't made by Capcom. Them and us? No, I haven't. Yeah, I think I especially agree with you there on the Resident Evil maybe if I set this to full screen, it'll bug out less. I don't know. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, video game. There you go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Them and us? Yeah, I'll have to peep it. I have to peep that sometime. Okay, so I've got everything. Now we just go to the stars room. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Can get there this way probably. There's no more enemies, so like I said, the hardest part of this run is just doing it, so Them and Us, yeah, I'll have to check it out. But I couldn't agree more. Like Resident Evil 7 was the one that had to like put in people's minds like, okay, yeah, no, they got something good they're cooking with here. But I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything particularly difficult. It's just a bit of a slog through. We're not even close to the worst part either, so I don't know. What will be the worst part of this run? Probably still the, I don't know, maybe if I kill all the enemies and just blow them all up, I guess it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't be too tough. We'll be fine. Love you, bro. Thanks, man. I couldn't agree anymore. Could not agree more. The way it just falls down. What in God's name? Alright. We don't need anything from here. Nope. I am going to open this door to make my life easier in 30 minutes when I have to come back here. Even though I probably... Temu lock. Temu like Temu. That's kind of... Oh, actually, no. This is a faster way to where I'm trying to get. What am I thinking? This is literally where I want to be. Second half of RE7 not really being finished, and also the lack of enemy variety. It was the two big downsides of 7, but it was a great game. Yeah, Resident Evil 7. If I was to make a commentary on Resident Evil 7, especially to what you're saying, I think that one of the biggest things about Resident Evil that outside fans don't ever really understand or get about this game franchise is that Resident Evil is not just a horror game. Resident Evil is also like a power fantasy game, and it can sometimes be kind of hard to explain to people what that means, but it is a huge focus of all of these games that you start at the beginning with very little ability to defend yourself or do anything, and in some cases no ability to defend yourself or do anything. But the entire game itself is a literary device known as an aristeia, which is, in a manner of speaking, it would be akin to that of the scene in Iliad when Troy dons his armor, right? When Achilles dons his armor before going into Troy. Like, that's an aristeia scene. That's a really big moment. It's a really big moment where you have like this kind of build up, right? And in Resident Evil, it's all about like these little moments where like you come in as your squishy, squeaky clean guy or whatever, and then you get bloodied and bruised, but like there's a pretty steep power scale that follows with that. And yeah, they definitely rushed that part of Resident Evil 7. I have to agree. I have to agree with you. The ending of the game is the weakest part, but I also think that it's very hard to come up with a concept for how do you get a more like cinematic scene in that game than how it opens with the Baker family, right? Like, I think that's really the hard part. But yeah, it's like without that scene with the Baker family at the beginning of the game, like that's such a huge thing. I think the way they do like the cop that comes around, right? Like there's a couple of really good cinematic elements that are woven through that make it in my opinion really good. But I don't think it's necessarily yeah, the rest of the game certainly can't keep up with that. They kind of outdid themselves. It feels less like the ending is bad, because I don't think the ending's bad, but it's like they were cooking. They were like locked in for the first half. That's how I'll phrase it. They were absolutely locked in. They crafted that first hour of that game is unreal. Like the first hour, if you're not stopping and just crapping yourself the whole time, the first hour of Resident Evil 7 is insane. It is wild. It is absolutely wild. What do I want to take here? What do we take here for him? That should just be fine, right? I don't know if I'm getting the FPS I need to do my knife thing, so I'm gonna bring my rocket launcher because, like I said, this was the hardest part of this was gonna be doing it, not anything else. Couldn't stand 7 or any of the first-person ones. You're over-the-shoulder guy all the way. Hey, you know, I get that, man. I get that. There's a reason why I replay 2 and 4 and not so much 3, but now that I've seen other Re's on your stream, I understand that RE Biohazard is very different from other Resident Evils. Yeah, you got to think about it. These games have been being made since 1998, so they're a product of their time. Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 are both like really good games, but the first person angle to them, it's a completely different vibe. Completely different vibe. Kablooey. Bye. No, not interested in buying your door-to-door chicken tenders or nuggets or whatever.
Somebody's watching me.
It's the Geico Gecko. First couple hours of that game might be the best 2 hours of any Resident Evil period. Yeah, it's up there. It really is. It really is. Resident Evil 7, I mean, you just... It's inspired by a lot of different movies, so it feels dumb to say it could be its own movie, but really stands on its own enough, I think. I loved Resident Evil Village, but the fact that it's a first-person game and that there's a scene in the game where, you know, the projection of your own giant child is trying to eat you, you know, that whole scene, that whole space in there in first person and doing all that, that's a little too much for me. And I love all this type of stuff, but that specific kind of thing is too much for me. Same reason why I don't like doing the Sherry segment for Claire in this game. There's certain types of situations and things that I'm just not personally like crazy about. If I had the option to skip the House Beneviento basement, would I have played Resident Evil Village again already? Like 100%, you know? And hey, kudos to them for making it that scary and all that jazz, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait a long ass time before I ever replay that. There's scenes of graphic horror and violence, and then there is stuff that's straight up disturbing. Yeah, it was kind of like Outlast. Yeah. Outlast was fascinating too. I felt like there was definitely a bit of that in there. The whole hiding in the house from Jack and stuff, like it was very Outlast, yeah. I guess that's kind of how I feel. It's a super big product of its times, and you know, it's interesting if you look at the way Capcom's been designing this engine, perhaps one of the most interesting things about it is that there's a huge emphasis with every title on building a feature that's kind of beta for this game, but you know, more polished for the next game. Maybe play Village over the shoulder next time. You know, I haven't tried to play through it since they changed it. I haven't. So it's possible. I played through Shadows of Rose. I did that in third person, and that was pretty fun. We beat Shadow of Rose here. We did that right as soon as it came out on stream. Yeah, 7 was a huge turning point, exactly. Well, because the biggest thing too is once people played enough Outlast, they realized that they're like, I still want to be able to fight back. And then Resident Evil was like, allow me to reintroduce myself. Do you want to run scared like a baby for the first half hour, first half of the game, and then spend the second half of the game just blowing stuff up and having a helicopter pilot with a Boston accent drop rockets on enemies for you and talk about taking you to a good bath? Resident Evil's got you covered. Resident Evil's got you covered on that. I don't need to go into this room. You haven't had a chance to play Village yet, but you didn't know they changed it to over the shoulder. They released over the shoulder. There's two options for how you can play the game now. There's two choices though. It's not one way or the other, but you can just pick. Same. It prompts you when you start the game. It asks you. You can't change it once you're already playing, but it prompts you when you start playing if you want to play first person or third person. That was a part of the Gold Edition update when they released the Shadow of Rose DLC. So you can play as Ethan's daughter in the expansion. It takes place like way after the events of the game because you're playing as a teenage Rose, adult Rose. I'm not actually. I don't know how old she is in the game. I think she's either 15 or 21. That's usually that's hard to guess when it comes to Japanese video games. Everybody's a high schooler that looks like they're 20, so I don't know. Unless you're a guy, then you're just built like a brick shit house. All the dudes are jacked though. Every guy's jacked. Except for the nerd, but they point that out pretty far in advance. But I wasn't crazy about. I played Outlast, and my wife and I played a lot of the multiplayer game they made of it, but I wasn't particularly crazy about it for that reason. Yeah, he's already there. Now I have to get the box. Get the box, turn on the power. Get the box, turn on the power. Let's see what we got. There it is. I play quality Resident Evil like 6. You know, my wife was not into horror stuff that much before we started dating, and we both have a pretty macabre sense of humor about stuff. And I got her to check out all of this crazy shit. She watched like 10 Saw movies with me. She played Resident Evil 3. She played it through on her own. She played Resident Evil 2 on her own. She's beaten all of these games as well. And it's one of those things when I think about like how blessed I am that, like, you know, my person cares about my hobbies that much. That obviously she's a gamer too, which is nice. But she played Dead by Daylight, you know, but it's like, you know, horror movies, I guess. She didn't watch horror movies. Maybe she played more horror games. That's probably, I might be reaching with that, I guess, but she got into a lot of this stuff anyway around the time that we started dating, and that was a really cool thing for us. We played Resident Evil 5 together. We played about 20 minutes of Resident Evil 6 before she got motion sickness. Katie gets a little bit of motion sickness. Resident Evil 6 is a ugly game, so no, she didn't make it very long on Resident Evil 1. No, she hated Resident Evil 1. She hated that. As soon as she couldn't see the first zombie off screen, she was like, fuck this game. And I'm like, there it is. There it is. That's my wife. Well, at the time, not, but looking backwards now through my memory, oh, that's my wife. This is one of the things we need. We can put the rocket launcher away for now. That won't be necessary. Won't be necessary. I don't need any of this other crap. Yeah. Five had potential, like when you're in the shanty town to fight the executioner, but alas, it's weird, but I think Resident Evil 5, and this is maybe where I disagree with people more, but like Resident Evil 5, outside of, it's not a very scary game. I'll give you that. But I do think it's actually one of, if not the best co-op game ever made. I think it's up there. I think Resident Evil 5, as far as being able to have a game that like playing through the first time with somebody is always a hoot. It's really hard to say that there's many better multiplayer games to go through for the first time with somebody. It's a game that's near and dear to my heart. I don't have anything good to say about the story. The whole entire game is a meme. Like, it's kind of how I feel about it. Like, in my mind, Resident Evil 5 is just like, it's like the dilution of the Japanese view of American culture, you know, which you get heavily exemplified through these games. They're all like, they're about their super badassery type stuff, and the Giga Chads and all that, and the old Western kind of stuff that they love, and you see it a little bit in the game development. Resident Evil 5, they're just like, they went full Hollywood. You never go full Hollywood. Oh, then Resident Evil 6, they went even fuller Hollywood. Which, yeah, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? They got too high on their own supply, right? Resident Evil 6 only has one thing in it that I really like, which is Piers Nivens, who is one of the best written characters they've put in any of the games. He is the only character that is introduced in the game for the purpose of being killed off, but you play as him. None of the other characters in any of the other campaigns have like any similar level of stakes. But the ending to Chris and Piers' campaign is actually really good, story-wise anyway. Gameplay-wise, still kind of sucks, but I love my boy Piers. He's the only good thing I have to say about Resident Evil 6. I like Piers. Didn't deserve to go out like that. What other game has complete global saturation and boulder punching? Yeah, that's true. You got Hot Wesker, Boulder Punch. Yeah, Resident Evil 5 is honestly just, I love it. It's not a good horror game by any standard, but it is a great game. It's very fun and highly replayable, so... Oh, damn. One of them finally got up with no face. Waiting for that. Turn on the water. We got the key. You were so disappointed with 5 as 4, so uber good. Like, I didn't like 4 when it first came out, but I liked 5 because I got to play it with my brother. And I was Sheva and he was Chris, and I would just run up to the gate. I would just run up to the gate while he was looking through some room on the side, and I would just be like, "Chris, hurry! Chris, Chris!" And at some point, he would punch me in the face in real life, and it was like, that was the funniest shit to me, you know? That's a core memory of mine. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then that means that the first time I played the game, since I was Sheva, I also had to do the button mashing on the cliff in the volcano at the end, which my body was prepared for by a lifetime of Metal Gear Solid.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, you cheating, bro? That's supposed to have a low percentage chance of hitting. It's supposed to have a low percent chance. I'm just trying to run past you. Thanks, bro. Mr. X. He's always getting in your way. Something I don't appreciate about him. But yeah. The original Resident Evil 4 was so ridiculous to me. The giant running statue and the... I was one of those guys. I think the remake of 4 was actually much better. I think the remake of 4 was so much better than the original.
Damn it.
It's like crazy. I do believe that, sincerely.
I promise.
You like Leon when he did a backflip to escape a chainsaw? Yeah, that was one of my favorites as well. How many are in here? Is there another one I didn't see? So many liquors in this area. He wanted to hit you politely stepping to the side. That's fair. I'll take that. I'll accept that. The jury will accept that answer. I'm a little hurt though, aren't I? I don't think I'm using those boards. Let's grab a grenade. I've got the thing for the library, so we just go there. Oh my god, are you kidding me, bro? Get out of my face. Man. This is where I risk it for the biscuit. Did I go too far with it? Not quite. Nice. And then you gotta break this thing, and then it falls down. You do property damage. Well, soon anyway. Nope. That's a big gear. It's not gonna fit in there. Small one's upstairs, I think. There we go. Look at us go. That's an angry clock tower bell.
Hope I don't have to write a report on this.
Me neither. All right, well, I'll see you around, Mr. X. Leon, you jokester, writes one report. That's it, guys. That's too much for me. That one report I wrote once absolutely broke me. Shattered my concept of reality. No, I've got some wild artifacting slash ghosting going here. It's because I tried to turn off all my fancy stuff for the stream. Been messing with too many. I've been messing with too many things here. Where do I go? Okay, back downstairs, right? I gotta go back down towards the yeah, through this hall. Yeah, I see you. See you too. This is a bit of a girls just want to have fun situation. Okay, bro. And then we're almost in the sewers. Making good headway, though. Making good progress. Well, we're almost there. We can just run straight through if we do this. We just clear out all the guys that would have gotten up when the doors opened. You can shoot the limbs off to be extra safe. Don't want to die here, and I don't want to play through this part 30,000 times. Oh, hey, yeah, okay. Make yourself known. That's fine. Make yourself known. He's just hanging on barely there. And then there's just a bunch of them here. Perfect. Let's make sure you don't get up. There we go. He's still holding himself up. He's hanging on. He's hanging in there. Him? Not so much. He's not doing well. He's not hanging in there. He's not hanging in there at all. How do I open this box? Where's the tape? There we go. Opening cardboard boxes is very difficult for me. Thank you for understanding. Homie can't hang. No, he took one. One hit. Let me have one hit. Nope, no, he's out. He's done. He's cooked. When the guy says I can take shots with the crew all night, that's what all night looks like for him. Actually, that's most of the way there. Something I'm missing, though. There it is. Who's gonna watch all the episodes of the 4th Boys season tomorrow in one go? I think they said it's 3 episodes tomorrow, right? Here we go. That's not good. Then a bunch of more of them spawn anyway. That should be illegal, honestly. Then he just appears here anyway. You know why? Because he's an a-hole. My no-heal run is going great. Thank you for asking. This is how I thought it was about to end.
We might want to open the shutter.
Just making sure I don't have anything else up that could be funkin'. No, we're good. They're not giving addicts like you the possibility to spend the whole day watching the entire thing. No. They're trying not to hurt work productivity, right? They're like, our own employees probably won't work today if we put out too many episodes. Oh, Ada.
Is that the intel you needed?
Unfortunately, no. Ben didn't come through.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible for this mess. Road's out. Going through that gun shop looks like the only way.
Yeah, we know. Somebody was asking me about some other game or something. It looks like it's running a little bit of it, yeah. Is this just what the base ray tracing in this looks like? Is that what this is?
What a mess.
What a mess. I agree. Grenade. I like grenades. Shotgun part, meh. Oh, that's the note from Jill, right? You got a nice little revolver. And thanks, Crunt, by the way. Thanks, Crunt Jammin'.
They're a pharmaceutical
For the nice
company
message, I appreciate
secretly
that.
making bioweapons. They have a virus. It turns people into indestructible monsters.
That explains the horrible things I've seen.
And that's why I'm looking for Annette Birkin. She's the one at Umbrella responsible for unleashing the virus. I'm going to bring her down. This is how we get to Annette.
Based on what you've said, the sewer seems fitting.
Well said. After you.
Gee.
Running,
thanks.
running, and running, running, and
Can't
running,
imagine a
running,
real
and
scientist
running,
being down
running.
here.
According to HQ, this leads right into Umbrella's secret facility.
Come on. Sewers are run by the city. How could they have a facility without the authorities knowing?
That explains the horrible things I've seen.
Umbrella's control.
Oh, he is. That's like Leon's like golden retriever in this.
That nerd.
And then Resident Evil 4 is Leon being like, I'm not a golden retriever anymore. And then everybody's looking at him like, yeah, you're a golden retriever that got a purple streak in your hair, okay? You're not emo, all right, Leon? And Leon's like, I am. It's like, okay, Leon, yeah. The person you were trying to protect didn't end up being helpless. Turns out they're a secret agent, triple threat, spy,
Chance.
whatever.
You're stuck with me to the
We
end.
get it.
Ugh.
It's left, right, right? I don't think it changes based on difficulty. Left.
Holy shit!
Right. Left. And then you just run straight ahead and that's it. Beautiful. Now that definitely, that effect right there, that caused some visual artifact. We got I've worked my settings for sure. It's not too bad though. How long does it take to grow my facial hair? Like if I completely shaved my beard, how long would it take for this to be back?
Leon, up
Maybe
here.
2-3 days?
What the hell was...
Just get up here.
I keep it pretty trim. The camera makes the facial hair look a lot thicker since obviously there's only so
You said
much
the virus turned
it can show
people
around my
into
face, so
monsters,
it gives a
not
more
reptiles.
consistent color to it probably. I don't know.
I'm just impressed you made
Yeah,
it
my
before
my hair grows quickly. My regular hair too. I need to get back to a barber. That's what I need. Need to make a haircut appointment. Yo, farm man. Yeah, she's just chilling.
So let me get this straight. Umbrella sells monsters like that to who? Our military? Somebody else's?
They don't sell the monsters. They sell the viruses that make them. And Annette is who makes the viruses.
Yeah, Raccoon City. Yeah.
Scary as that alligator was, Annette is far more dangerous. You can run, Annette, but you can't hide.
Well, this part should be. I've never done this part on this easy of a difficulty, so I think we're set here. This should be very straightforward.
It's secret weapon time.
Secret weapon time. Got replaced by Sable in Dead by Daylight.
Candy from a baby.
Now you guys know Ada's the kind of person who steals candy from babies, by the way. Then you divert the power from the fan to the door. I don't think this guy really chases you. If I recall, anyway. Not even sure if he can leave that room. Oh, well, he left the room. There's the elevator. Juicy.
Got you now. Always been good at running, Annette. Give you that. Persistent bastard, aren't you?
Turn on the fan here. And we're in. Now we just have to play the little fire trap, right? Fire trap puzzle. Right on.
Bravo. Gonna burn me alive now.
You'll never get your filthy hands on the G.
I'm not
The G.
going after it. You realize that?
And you won't die alone.
Oh, there's the first one. Dun, 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 dun. Finished up work for the day though. Hell yeah, babe. But yeah, they basically cook you here. You have like 1 minute to do you overclock all the security locks until they explode, and then you're good.
Visitor clearance confirmed. Your ID is authorized until October 1st. Please return before this date.
Not gonna happen.
The amount of times you died to this section when you did your first playthrough is too damn high. They like doing that to you though. They like putting people in those spots.
Ada, where are you?
Yeah, we're not going up that staircase. Hey, Ivysaur. Thanks. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm getting my final 2 achievements that I don't have for this game. I'm getting them out of the way. That's my mission today. That's my big deal. That's my big deal I got going on. I don't have any other grenades or knives, do I? Oh, this is the easiest way to clear through this section though, Nate. We can be fair. We can be fair. That's true. That's true. I hate these sewer monster guys. Yeah, we're finishing up the achievement for beating the game without healing, and that's it. That's the only achievement I don't have from the main game. It's the only one I'm missing. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing here today. Hope you're having a nice afternoon. Tragically, the last achievement I had to get in the whole entire game is one of the easiest ones to get. But that's part of why I put it off. Oh, these guys are not feeling super good. They're not feeling great. Pretty sure this guy gets up too. Yeah, I can't go through any of those other doors yet. We do end up back here, though. Actually, that might be a knife. Yeah. The knives are good for if we get grabbed by the blob monster dudes. I am going to rocket launch all of the blob monster guys. I hate them. It's literally the worst part of the game right here. I have no respect for these guys. Is he still alive? Or like I can't kill this one because it's scripted? Oh yeah, I guess that one was scripted. Yeah, well. Biggest bullet sponge in the entire game. I hate those guys. Those are the kinds of guys that can ruin your run. And we're just trying to get inside that train car right there. That's what we're gonna use. And that little handle right there is what we need.
Where'd she go?
Forgot there's nobody in this room for Leon. That was always weird for me. Claire has no Ada, so that room is always full of enemies.
I'm coming, Ada.
put some of this stuff back there. If we're not gonna need it if we use that, so we should be fine space-wise to just grab what we need. So let's go get it. There are some Mr. Raccoon statues I'm still missing from the Ghost Survivors, but I'm not really like worried about that as much as I am getting all the main mission stuff done. So I just have to beat the game. I just have to beat the game. There's no other rules. Just beat the game as fast as I can. Don't use a healing item. Sorry, there's some zombies that spawn down there normally, so I had to just, you know, pre-mop. Ah, I didn't grab the handle. That's on me. It's very close, though. Now we can do this part. In a normal run of the game, this is like literally the worst section of the entire game. There is nothing that is worse than this room in the whole game. Guess it's also 20 days away from Battle Aces. You're super hyped for that? Good for you, man. Hell yeah. Love that you love Resident Evil. It's good stuff. I don't know. I don't think I need to grab this key first, but I probably should just in case I'm being silly. That feels like the kind of mistake I would make that would screw me over. I would forget that I need this key because of how fast I usually play the game. It's a very Nathan thing.
Oh my God, this is getting worse.
It's getting worse. No shit, Austin. One shot's with enough with this, right? Yeah. I hate these things. These guys ruin all my speedruns. My actual ones, anyway. No, he survived! The animation, the iframes. The iframes. Guys, who gave him iframes coming out of that pipe? You telling me the developers wanted that cutscene to finish playing out? Are you kidding me? They didn't prepare for me to do that? Are you kidding me right now? Do we have enough space for this? Maybe. I think so. I love that you love Resident Evil. Yeah, I love this stuff, man. It's never been super great performing for me to stream this stuff, but now that I don't care, this is something I've always wanted to do. I'm gonna finally get all the achievements in this game today, so again, this isn't the sexiest final achievement to have left in the game. I must admit, this is a very Nathan kind of situation that would happen. But at the same time, I'm going to be able to say that I finished 100%ing this game on stream. And that is something I've always wanted to say. What am I trying to do here? This door that I open, so now I can go back both ways. And I think I can open this one from the other side with the queen plug again, right? Or maybe I have to use the king one on that. Let me see. No, that's queen. So maybe I leave the king plug here to be safe. Yeah, because that's how I cheat it. Then you go back through this way, grab the king plug. All the doors are closed, but it doesn't matter because you can still get up through here? No? Think. It's okay. It's okay. Put it back. What did I miss? What am I missing here? What are we missing, Nate? You opened this door, right? Need to get behind this. So maybe... You can tell it's been forever since I've done this puzzle. Well, I can't move this piece from here either, though. There's nowhere I can go with that. So I need to get it so that... I'll never be able to do it from that side anyway. That's the mistake. That's not where I need to do it. That's just for the item. Yeah, I think that's just for the item. Okay. So if I want to open this door... has to be there, so the only other way to get that back would be... Oh yeah, you put the king... This part of the puzzle is way simpler, Nathan. You just gotta remember that there's a thing on both sides of that door. There we go. Always forget about this door in the corner. Yeah, Mac, play more. Exactly. So I've got some things on my stream bucket list I'm gonna get done between now and when Stormgate comes out, and then when Stormgate comes out, we're gonna go crazy hard on that and just see what happens. That's the plan. Oh, he's just kind of he's got some texture. Some textures are fried AF on those guys. I mean, I already took out like 4 or 5 of them. I don't know why he's asking now, but I'm still inclined to agree, I guess. I click it off and on really fast, and I was like, yeah, that makes more sense. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting because it's like your ability to see is still really important, right? Like the disadvantage of giving up some information. Like the disadvantage of giving up some information is at least not. There's one more thing I need to get still, isn't there? Yeah. We'll go back. I got to drop some of this stuff off. At least we have most of the plugs. We just have to go get the rook plug. That's it. We're like two away. Here, let's just put these all in the wrong spots so I can have them out of my inventory. Perfect. Perfect. I guess because like zombies aren't that smart, right? If you were in like in an action movie, then like people are gonna react to that stuff and they're gonna do intelligent things when they notice that you aren't noticing that your light's giving you away. But at least the monster is like, yeah, it'll kind of jump at you. You're not wrong though. There's definitely big advantages and disadvantages. I agree. How did he get blown all the way over here? Oh. Oops. I can almost hardly tell that was a person. Oh yeah, I just gotta go this way again, don't I? No. This way. I remember now. The first elevator doesn't take you to the RPD. The second elevator does. Yeah, enjoy. But yeah, imagine that you like tune into Nathan's stream and he's playing Resident Evil 2 and he's like, guys, the only achievement I'm missing is the one that you get by just playing on easy mode and speedrunning the game. It's an honest day's work. That's all I can say. I had to get this achievement eventually, right? Eventually, anyway. If there was a RE2 campaign where you were a G, where all you did was just fit your fat butt in a sewer and make everyone rage, that just sounds awful. It's like that r/, it's like awful everything. Oh, that's to go back to the RPD. I don't need anything in this room. Only thing I need is take that. And then go back down here, right? Where I came from. Well, the people like to make a living getting an Resident Evil 2 achievement. Me too, bro. Me too. That's why I'm streaming it, because I don't care that I can't. I'm gonna get doing all this stuff out of my system. Stormgate will come out. We go all in on that. We see if we can make a living doing that or not. Otherwise, I'm off to Starbucks. That's my plan. Let's see. How am I supposed to array these guys again? I think I have the thing right here. The knight stays in the night spot, so knight, rook, yeah, and then bishop I think goes here. And queen goes opposite the knight. No, queen goes opposite the rook. You think I'll get good tips at Starbucks? I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Let's hope.
Okay, almost there, Ada.
This is the last boss fight before the lab, and then we're there, so that'll be nice. We just hit one more electronic panel guy up, right? Is it 3 of them? Yeah, I guess. There it is. it's this spot right by this fan here. You just keep walking here and you're good. Can't make him rip the door down faster? I can. Nice.
It's still alive?
Hell yeah. Just let him have it.
Now I got you.
Beautiful.
Let's hope that's the last of them.
The cable car will take us down to Nest.
Easy peasy.
The wristband's our ticket to ride.
Getting shot that many times with a rocket launcher, yeah, it's nuts.
Fired it. Anyway, we're almost there.
Again, there's no parameters to get this achievement. You just have to beat the game without using a healing item, so there's a minimum level of health that you can have when you play on this difficulty, so as long as I don't die in the fights, it'll occasionally give me little heals. So that's the easiest way to get through it. Trying to do this on any higher difficulty would turn this into like a multiple day, probably multiple day run.
This may be a one-way ride.
I accidentally alt-tabbed there for a second. Yeah, we're going, we're going.
For Nest. Do not exit until the final destination.
We're almost done though, so that's nice.
For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open.
Yeah, we're almost there, we're almost there. I know, we're almost there.
Welcome to Nest. Enjoy your visit.
It's dark, we know.
Our menu is designed for your nutritional needs using our latest biological research. Please enjoy our tasty selection of healthy foods.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, he's got nothing going on there anymore, huh? It's a fun game sometimes. People just casually walking through the AC ducts here. No biggie. One of them get up? He's still going? Trying to put you out of your misery, bro. Oof. Yo, Kohaya, thanks for the sub, man.
This might come in handy.
Thanks for the love, brother. I hope you had a great day. Happy Wednesday. Oh, I gotta combine it, right? These boxes all fall though. Yeah, I can't go to the bathroom because of cardboard boxes.
Dr. Lee, your presence is urgently
Just because zombies are trying to kill you, what makes us think they are in misery? That's true. It's hard to say, right? I think the idea is that like the... I don't know. The T-virus explanation. That's a long path. That's a long path to go down. I'm not sure I'm ready for today. But you bring up a very excellent point.
in the east area.
I think your concerns are extremely valid in this area, though. It is hard. It is hard to understand the zombies' perspective. I'll give you that. That would be like the biggest reveal ever, right? They like one day they have a Walking Dead episode where they just actually do a brain scan of one somehow, and they're like, "Oh my God, it can see and experience everything even though it has no control," and you're like, "That's kind of crazy." But the implication is that like you would find that out from someone being saved or restored. But that's not possible either, so... Oh, yo, what the hell? Thank you for the raid, Jason, and thank you for the subs, Calaris. You know, Calaris is like, even though I never get to hang out with this guy anymore and he lives on the other side of the world, he still does all these really nice stuff for me and he always says nice things to me. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, James. I love you, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Jason. You know, Jason is somebody I'm looking forward to, Jason is someone I'm looking forward to playing some Stormgate with over the coming months, too. And of course, James, we'll see how the ping to Europe is. You know, I get salty about my ping. We'll see if James ends up playing co-op, right? That'll be how I get him, probably. Calaris guy dropping subs, Nate calling him daddy. I mean... He's got the Jamie Lannister look. Do I need to say anything else? So, Calaris, you're really going to appreciate this. I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to address you first. First of all, thank you. Second of all, the only achievement I don't have in this game is the one where you just beat it on easy mode without using any healing items. That is literally where I am right now. That is literally it's the only achievement I have. I have every single achievement from the single player of this game. I've done them all. I missed one from the DLC that I'm going to do probably tonight off stream, or maybe we'll do it after the campaign's over. But I literally only did not do the Frugalist achievement. So that's it. So I'm doing like this is the most chill Resident Evil 2 stream I've ever done because all I have to do is just beat the game without using an herb, right? As long as I don't heal at any point. As long as I don't heal at any point, I'm totally fine. So I'm just remembering that. Let's see. Was it 3? Okay. Got the greenhouse code, and then there's one more, right? 067. They're not MGS vids, but they're good. Yeah, man. Dude, Resident Evil is just awesome. I love all of these games. I'm like a lore nut job. I'm crazy. I'm crazy about all of this. I wanted to get every achievement in this game on stream. And that was like, I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen between now and tomorrow, but I know that I've been putting this off forever. So I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish 100%ing this game today. That's what I'm doing. I'm crossing everything off the bucket list, but there's no requirements for this. So again, it's about as straightforward as just nuke everything. So, and I can, since I had that code, I can just go straight to this part. So this becomes
Manual mode.
does 300 sub points get you the better split now? You know, I think I'm still on my, I actually got grandfathered in because they reset mine. So I think I get the 70% no matter what still. I think I get the 70% no matter what still. They haven't shifted me off of that yet, I guess, is maybe the more apt way to put it. The way to do this is you put both of the big solutions together in the big tank, and then you kind of just siphon out a little bit, I think, is how it gets run. So you more or less use the two shorter ones to cut off the bigger one. So we'll keep that on the side. Yeah, big one on the left. We'll just get everything into that. But yeah. You still do, apparently, even though you don't stream. Our contracts are ancient. Yeah. Well, they tried to, like, I had a whole thing with them, like, 2 or 3 years ago, because a lot of people, now other people are experiencing it. But when I reached out to them the first time, when they messed with my split without talking to me, I had, like, this whole thing with them about how they were, like, I was getting like asked to do interviews by like Dexerto and CNBC and some people because they're doing a lot of there was a lot of like anti-Twitch sentiment basically going around, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm a pretty insignificant, meaningless person in your space that's been doing this for a really long time, and the absolute last thing I ever would want to have to do is try to talk to somebody else about this to get a resolution. But they moved me off of it. There was like this whole weird thing because my root contract, even though I wasn't on root anymore for like a long time, it got like super bizarre. But long story short, they fixed it. But when they redid everybody's contracts to fix that, what ended up happening was they canceled some of the payment agreements for the older PayPal subs. So a lot of people's subs got canceled. So that was like a the number of like long-term subs that just got insta-canceled from going to the new contract system that they're doing was like crazy. But they ended up doing the same thing with everybody else, I think, in the last 2 months. So there's been like a huge hubbub about that. A lot of streamers have been talking about that. I think it's like one of those things that feels kind of futile because if people want to support, obviously they're going to, but especially with like Twitch raising the minimum price on people and us having no say in it, it's like, will I get more from that? I guess, but I don't know. It's a tough time to be trying to squeeze people. It's not really a smart time to be trying to do that, but Twitch doesn't seem to have any plans, so we're all just YOLOing it, right? It's about the worst possible time they could have raised their prices, so. All right, we got these guys all cleared out. Yeah. Oh, there's another one in here. Oh yeah, to get the power back on, we have to go get the thingy from upstairs first. Yeah, inflation. Seeing you cast during a big tourney again was a nice early birthday present. Only other wish was I had to glow blue like you do. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. It was It was kind of out of the blue thing. It was kind of just fell in my lap. I wasn't expecting it. I still haven't even heard anything since, but I'm happy that I got to at least do something, you know? So that was pretty awesome. Even if it was a B stream, it was still pretty cool to be in like the in-game lobby with Hero and Gumiho and all those guys. It's right here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. You don't use it up here, though. We can get this door. Open my Temu lock. I think it's on the ESL VODs. We were on the ESL B stream. We did the Dallas. I did the Dallas B stream with Beowulf. Yeah, I'm going to the safe house thing this weekend. Again, that's something that's more like I'm doing that because I want to hang out with like Zombie Grub and Fear Dragon and some people that I never get to see. And it's not really like, you know, it's not like the kind of thing that's like this is some sort of big gig for me or whatever. It's more of like, for me, I view the safe house thing as like a pretty cool community thing that I got asked to be a part of that I'm excited about, but it's not anything bigger than that in my mind. How was that with Bayo? You know, it's tough. It's tough because he has to do everything. Like I used to complain about this. I used to complain about this like anybody else. Oh, I gotta set it to Murph. I used to complain about this like anybody else when we were doing, you know, the back in the day anyway with the online shows. But my biggest problem with my co-caster having to run the entire production of the show is that like he's just focused on too many things that aren't the game. So it's not like I think Bayo puts a lot of good work in, and I think that he kind of gets maybe a little bit like nervous about making sure he's hitting all of his beats, but I think a part of that is because he's you can't not be distracted half the time. I just don't think you can't not be distracted half the time when you're running, like when he has to do the observing and then people are shitting on him for his observing, and I've never had to observe for a big cast before, and any time that I've done even a game or two, like it's been awful, you know, but nobody's ever asked me, nobody's ever told me I have to observe for a big pro competitive match like that. You know, that was never my job. That was never my role. So anytime I have to cast with somebody who's put in that position, it's like, you know, I enjoyed working with him, but it's just tough. It's tough with that production setup. It's a big event. And obviously he's looking at feedback, he's looking at chat, and he's got his DMs with the ESL people open during the whole thing. So it's not even just running that production, but he's constantly got that feedback coming his way from the show. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough. I think as far as our chemistry went, day 2 was a lot better than day 1. I think we made a lot of improvements on the second day. He loosened up a bit. But, you know, Beowulf kind of reminds me of me a little bit. He's you know, he puts a lot of crazy amounts of time into what he's doing. He seems way too stressed out. He seems like he's got probably a better a support system than I did when I was in his place. So I think he's fine, but he really just, if anything, he's doing a lot of good work. He's just gotta calm down a little bit. I think he's fantastic. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to work in this industry with the kind of pressure that gets put on people and not get wound up. So I can't even blame him. But when he was like loosened up and we were getting into like a good conversation, it was awesome. It was awesome. No complaints. The day 2 casts were really good. Yeah. And we're getting paid like the same amount too, so it's nuts. He's just got to do all of that shit. That's what you have to do to get work. It's hard.
Jesus.
It's brutal.
What happened here?
But we're almost done with this section of the game on a lighter note. We We've got our thing synthesized. We've got our cooling agent to disperse.
Dispensing.
Now he's like updating graphics. He's running the full production, sending it out to the ESL guys to push on their channels. Like he's spectating in the game, but he also has to be the one to make sure that they're getting into the lobbies and yeah, full production. Yeah, he runs literally the full entire B stream production while commentating. And then he gets judged by his employers on social media feedback, which is a part of how ESL does. It's a big part of how ESL does their feedback system is social media reports. So all they get are these people shitting on people like him, and then it makes it impossible for him to get a raise or get more work because they have all this stuff against him forever, you know, even though all he does is bust his ass. That's esports though. The reason why you do it is because you like being a part of the game or the space. There's certainly limited benefits elsewhere, you know? But when people talk about him getting more work, you know, they're going to look at that stuff. They're going to look at that. They're going to see a guy that's not in an environment where he can even do his absolute best, and he's going to be judged as if that's the best he can do, and that's just tough. People did the same stuff to me when I had to do those ESL shows at like 3 in the morning. It was brutal. Getting called low energy because I can't scream at 3 in the morning. It's tough. Tough racket. I'd like to see him at another offline event though. No, everybody who works in this industry, anybody who's been working in this industry for any length of time, I think they're aware of how lucky they are. It's amazing. It's amazing to have that as what you do. Like, even if you're kind of barely making things work between events, like it was always a super fun time. It was always a really, really good time. It was never easy, but it was always really fun. That's why you do it. Gets glamorized a lot, but mostly that's the glamorization part of it is how the people that hire you get to tell you that, yeah, they're in control. So there we go. Pretty blue room. What do you mean? I'm here painting Warhammer every day. Very glamorous. You handsome devil, you. Well, I think, James, I think there are some people that think about the possibilities of things not always, you know, being guaranteed. And I think you're one of the smart people that probably has some awareness. I like you enough to say to your face, I think you have a general awareness about the stability of your position. I did not get into another league outside of StarCraft, unfortunately. As much as I did try. I put in a good few attempts, but I think I still just had way too much shit going on to make any of that happen. It's really, really awesome to work in games. It's just miserable also.
Now back to Ada.
But everyone will tell you that. People who make games, community moderators, people who make content about games, people who play games. No, Naraka was awesome. Naraka was awesome. I got so close. I got so close with those guys. You know, they even tried to hire me like 3 different times after that too. But their team was... They went with they went with that GNBL company, and when you go to do production for a company and all you recognize are people that like basically bombed out of every other show you've been on, and you're like, well, I guess this is their second chance too, you know, and you get a kind of whole thing set up and together. But I don't really think, I think their problem was that Naraka just wasn't big enough in America. But yeah, I don't really know. They like totally canceled our thing and we were all supposed to go to Worlds for that, and then it didn't really end up happening, and I don't really know what Naraka ended up doing. They paid for like that huge league for us, and then they're like, guys, we actually don't have that many people that watch or play in America, even though it's like 10 cents. So
That looks bad.
I was just another one of those things where even those guys with infinite money were like, man, not worth it. I think they still ended up doing some online only stuff, but I don't know if I got cut out by the production company. They reached out to me more, but yeah, Naraka Blade Point is like a battle royale, but kind of like in ancient Asia, more or less. You're like, oh yeah, I want to go to like old time Japan island. Everybody's got different types of weapons and stuff. You have like heroes and whatnot, so you pick your character that you want to play, and it was one of those games that you would play with either a bunch of people or a few people, more or less.
Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform.
But yeah, we did a whole league. We did a whole league for that out of Santa Ana.
Attention. Self-destruct.
No, to be fair, that was a really good deal for me too, though. I think they realized after, because the thing is, it's like, you know, it's like part of when you do those shows is you never really know. So it's like I asked for what I wanted for my rate, and I don't know if that ended up just becoming a problem for them down the line, but I got what I asked for naturally. And I think the two guys I was working with had like never actually done commentary work. So at some point we ended up coming in together for like the offline final, and I was like, oh yeah, what are you guys getting paid? You know, you guys being taken care of? And then I find out these guys are making like $200 a show, like $200 for a whole day, for a whole entire day of like their lives to the thing. And I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, I'm getting $1,000 a day for every time we do one of these shows. And they just look at me like completely dumbfounded, and I'm like, yeah, this whole thing is absolutely gonna implode. Yeah, not managed by people that were doing a lot of smart stuff, I guess. So they probably realized, they're like, well, we got to cut our budget, so we're not even going to ask this guy to take a pay cut. We'll just fire him, keep the two super cheap people on, and they switched to an online only show, and I haven't heard anything since. I'm sure they're doing very well, though. I'm sure they're doing very well. I liked it. Naraka was fun, but yeah, we didn't get to talk to anybody from the company themselves. One person reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, we're trying to hire an English caster for the Naraka Blade Point World Championship." And I was like, "That's me." I'm like, I did your league like for 2 years. I did you guys' league for like 2 seasons. I did this whole league for like 2 entire seasons. Like, you guys don't have my contact information, and then it just never ended up turning into anything. So it's one of those things that seems like it gets like subcontracted to hell. I had the ultimate subcontractor hell job in 2022. There was like a VMware Expo in San Francisco, and they subcontracted out their like gaming area to this solutions company, and they subcontracted it out to another gaming solutions company in Vegas. So the whole entire production was built by like one guy who just drove up from Vegas with a van and made a bunch of bootleg Mario Kart like driving stations, and that was literally it. So the person that hired him, that was running the booth, like didn't actually know anything, and then they didn't have any information they could give us. And it's like, that's just normal. That is just what happens. And there's like these C-suite executives coming by, and they're all coming by and they're like, whoa, we're going to get to play we're going to go drive in like a kart and race each other in Mario Kart. And I'm like, yeah, and this whole entire thing, like if Nintendo ever knew, like if any of this was ever public, like it's all just like horrible type shit, right? Like it's the absolute worst nightmare type garbage. And people just do that super casually. Because the guy that got hired is like, oh, I didn't do anything. It was these guys that I hired. And then he tells his boss, well, you just hired me. So the endless chain of unaccountability. You just like pass the decision making off as far down as you can. And then when somebody does something that's wrong, you know, you just fire them or blame them, and that's it. But no, it's crazy shit like that is just common. People getting exploited like mad. And that's like a billion-dollar mega corporation. Did we get our achievement? Did we get it? I did. Frugalist. It popped up. We did it, boys. Fantastic. Fantastic. Absolute highlight. So now the only one that we're missing for the entire game is the bonus mission one. I don't know if I want to do that right now though. Yeah, for what we do, I mean, like at a minimum, anybody that's getting hired to cast stuff, like I get that times are tough, but like that inflation thing goes both ways. The fact that anybody could get paid anything less than 500 is like nuts to me. And I would, again, like that's the kind of thing that's like your bare minimum. Unless you're getting a lot of days of work, like you have to get a lot of days guaranteed. You need some sort of assurance if you're taking rates that low. Have I tried the RE4 randomizer? I have not tried that. It's apparently I unlocked something. I unlocked another outfit or something like that. Is what it looked like. So cool. It's in these, I think it's in these missions, right? It's in the extra modes. They have a training mode though. Can I get the guys in training mode? Let me see. Well, you know, Farm Man, if you're not getting paid to do it, you're probably just going to have to take whatever anybody offers you to get your foot in the door. That's just like the dirty part of it. But for people that are like doing big productions for like AAA companies, there's a big difference, you know. Like I did a Zero Space thing for free this year. I think I did a Stormgate tournament for like, I don't know. I think I did it for like a foot-long hoagie earlier this year. And that's literally just for the opportunity to maybe get considered for something else later down the line, right? Like that's all you get. That's all you get. So I don't have a timer on this because of the thing I set up. So let me see. Where do they spawn? So it says the first one is going to be here on the right. Okay, I think I got... So I got some of these. I have some of these at least. Okay. I'm gonna need to switch that back to win. Yeah, Farm Man does Age of Empires. Farm Man's Age of Empires caster. He's we've been talking about Stormgate a bunch. He does a bunch of Age of Empires stuff. He's pretty cool. Let me see. The middle of the machinery room is the next one. We found the easiest spot. Looking off the walkway before the room with the zombie wearing the backpack. Okay, okay. These guys got like glowing heads. Talent rates vary wildly. They do, they do. Hey, people up top can make really good money, and there's no problem with that. But you know, we've had these conversations many times. Keeping some kind of floor up for the people in the middle. That is. It's something. It's a goal to work towards. So maybe the polite way of putting it. That those guys love pushing people against each other, that's for sure. Just go straight down here. I think guys that build up their own channels in a good way, like you look at what like Wardy's done, what like Base Trade had and stuff like that, is really big. It's hard existing in like the frame of one singular game, you know? But like StarCraft has always kind of been in an exception kind of place because the community is very big. Yeah, consistent freelance gigs are the dream. It's just hard when they stop coming like out of the blue, you know? That's the hardest part about it. It can be fun. It can be a wild ride when you're getting stuff consistently, but you know, I put away a lot of money so I could make it a couple of years without getting any work. And I'm very glad I did that. But at the same time, nobody owes you anything. Nobody you work with owes you anything, and nobody's looking out for you, and nobody really cares either. That's the most important thing to keep in mind. Anybody around you can end up replacing you, and you have zero guarantees. It can be awesome, but it is stressful. Yeah, some combination of making your own stuff and doing the freelance work is the dream, though. That's why none of my plans are ever based around getting freelance work. Those are all just supposed to be nice things that end up happening in between. Let's see where the next one is. There's a ledge. There's two Mr. Raccoons that you have to get, one on one side and one you can't get the other way. Fascinating. Well, I think this is the harder one to get, so we need to go take the higher water route when we get to the sewer here. Have I played Resident Evil Biohazard? Oh, Resident Evil 7? Yeah, and that in VR was crazy. I tried it in VR. Yeah, it was nuts. Or maybe I can't. Maybe I'm unkillable in this. Maybe I can just go get everything. That's nice. But yeah, that's like the thing is like the best case scenario is that you get with the developer that gives you an actual contract for what you're doing. That's like at a reasonable deal, you know. We never really had any good assurances from Blizzard. They liked to kind of keep us strung up like that too, but it was still safer being in that ecosystem because at the very least they kind of, you know, their motivation was primarily just marketing their game and stuff, even though it was all a giant thing that was kind of pointless anyway. They didn't really end up making any money off of it to keep it going, you know, so the people in charge, people have generally failed to capture people's attention when it comes to esports stuff and how to engage audiences. Well, in a way that can be profitable anyway, right? Keep your options open. I'm not very bullish on esports. I think until rates come down, it's you're mostly just hoping on institutions that already have crazy amounts of financing to just keep pouring money into it. That's more or less the entire industry at the moment. I'm not aware of anybody that's making money and running their business off of the money that's being made from it, you know. It's all outside money for everything. Yeah, we know. We know. We know. We know. Yeah. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, is that an insta-death? That's a one-shot. Well, that's okay. So, at least we know where one of them is, I guess. At least we know where one of them is. If I can just do it in the training mode, I guess that's not a big deal, huh? Do I have anything here that gives me a buff? Do I have any like BS broken items? No. Open all the locks. Ah, I see. Yeah, there were some other ones for these ones, so I'm missing 7 of them. Okay, well, I can do that some other time then. You bitch your ass. Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is like a limited kind of mode. It's not really the main story. I don't think I have to worry about it as much, but yeah. The best advice I could give is work on your own stuff. The most valuable thing you have is whatever you own. If you make something that people want to watch and will tune into and engage, don't lose faith. Keep in mind that the majority of all the big things that you look at and admire are largely giant piles of money being lit on fire with no actual long-term plan. So none of these companies are planning for your safety or security. Nobody that hires you cares about that. Make sure you're doing your due diligence with looking after yourself, not putting yourself in positions to be super exploited. And remember that while it is a really cool place to be a part of, it's definitely, yeah. It'll never be easy, that's for sure. That's for sure. Unless the government starts hiring lifetime appointments for esports casters, in which case that's, I guess, my new goal. My new goal, right? Get in on that grift. I don't actually have anything else to do today. I don't have anything else to stream. I wanted to get that done. I got that done. We've only been live for like, what, 2.5 hours? Yeah, I got nothing. There's really nothing else I want to do. So I'm going to head out. Thanks for chilling, guys. God bless you. See you tomorrow.